Daemonettes. They are the core infantry of Slaanesh's legions, deadly warriors designed for both speed and precision. They are lean, androgynous creatures with elongated limbs and long, razor-sharp claws that can tear through flesh and even power armor. Daemonettes fight with intelligence and purpose. They strike surgically, often choosing to maim rather than kill, savoring the suffering of their victims. Their reflexes are inhumanly fast, allowing them to dodge bullets and blades with unnatural ease. This is a way for them to compensate for their frail constitution and minimal armor. Their charm is as much a weapon as their claws. Mortals who gaze upon them are often overwhelmed by a mix of fear, awe, and unnatural attraction, leaving them momentarily paralyzed and open to the demon's attacks. On the battlefield, Daemonettes form the bulk of Slaanesh's armies, swarming enemy lines with terrifying speed. They often serve as the personal attendants of greater demons and champions, acting as both warriors and courtiers. Steeds of Slaanesh. Fast-moving demonic mounts primarily used by Seeker cavalry and Seeker chariots. Their long, serpentine bodies are covered in tough chitin, and they glide on the battlefield rather than running. Roaming herds of steeds can be found within Slaanesh's realm in the Warp, in vast golden and silver plains. Daemonettes venture into these fields to capture them, forming the elite Seekers of Slaanesh, the fastest cavalry in the Dark Prince's legions. Seekers use their superior speed to outflank enemies, striking before they can react. The steeds' whip-like tongues secrete a mild paralytic venom, weakening opponents before the Daemonettes finish them off. Steeds are also harnessed into Seeker chariots, where they drag massive bladed war machines to battle. These chariots crush and dismember anything in their path, making them a key assault unit in Slaanesh's forces. Though fragile compared to the mounts of other Chaos gods, Steeds of Slaanesh rely on speed, agility, and precision, making them ideal for fast attacks and ambush tactics. Fiends. They are deadly, four-legged demon beasts that blend speed, strength, and disruptive abilities, making them some of the most dangerous creatures in Slaanesh's legions. Unlike the more graceful steeds, fiends are brutal hunters that can rip their enemies to shreds with powerful claws and barbed tails. One of their most feared traits is their discordant screech, a piercing, unnatural sound that disrupts enemy psychers and weakens warp-based abilities, making them valuable against sorcerers and warp-sensitive foes. Fiends also exude a soporific musk, a potent scent that overwhelms the senses of mortals, slowing their movements and dulling pain responses, making them more susceptible to the fiend's attacks. They are rarely seen in large numbers, preferring to hunt in small packs or serve as shock troops. They use their powerful legs to leap great distances and strike with their scythe-like claws coated in paralytic venom. Heralds of Slaanesh. The elite Daemonettes who have ascended beyond their kin, acting as leaders, champions, and emissaries of the Dark Prince. They embody Slaanesh's ideals of excess, pleasure, and cruelty, each specializing in a different aspect of war. Tranceweavers are the standard heralds of the legions of excess. They lead packs of Daemonettes and inspire them to greater heights of sadism, while their own razor-sharp claws carve through enemies with ease. Infernal enrapturesses craft instruments from the bodies of their victims, playing soul-wrenching melodies that empower surrounding demons. They can also act as a living artillery and cast powerful sonic waves with their music. Tormentbringers ride Slaanesh's deadly war chariots to lead and to plow through enemy ranks. They focus on high-speed carnage, turning battlefields into blood-drenched spectacles of excess. Chosen Children. Demon Princes of Slaanesh, also known as the Chosen Children, are former mortals who achieve the ultimate reward of ascension to demonhood. Compared to the other gods, Slaanesh offers many paths for ascension. Their rise can come from unmatched artistry, reaching new heights of pleasure, or the classic pursuit of perfection in battle. But a Demon Prince of Slaanesh must constantly surpass their own achievements, or risk being cast down and turned into a chaos spawn for failing to amuse their master. In battle, the Chosen Children are among the fastest and most agile demon princes, using inhuman speed, grace, and precision to slay their enemies. They fight with whips, claws, and enchanted blades. Their psychic abilities focus on overwhelming the senses, twisting minds with waves of pleasure and agony until resistance becomes impossible. Among them, few embody the pursuit of excess like Doom Rider, a former Chaos Space Marine who sought the ultimate rush. He ascended to demonhood by embracing speed as his obsession and impressing the Dark Prince. Keepers of Secrets. The greater demons of Slaanesh and its most terrifying emissaries, created to serve as the Dark Prince's powerful generals. Their name comes from their ability to peer into the minds of mortals, uncovering their deepest secrets, desires, and weaknesses to exploit them in battle. Their forms are tall, elegant, and alluring, and they wield enchanted whips or swords. Keepers are also the fastest and most agile greater demons, capable of outmaneuvering even the most elite warriors. Their razor-sharp claws can slice through power armor, and their immense strength allows them to tear apart vehicles and creatures with ease. Beyond physical combat, they are masters of psychic manipulation. Their presence on the battlefield can be enough to seal the outcome of a battle by turning allies against each other with their hypnotic voice or overwhelming enemies with agony. There are many infamous keepers, each with their own story and ambitions. Later in this video, we'll cover the 3 who stand above the rest, locked in an endless competition to become Slaanesh's greatest demon. The Masque of Slaanesh. Once Slaanesh's most favored herald, the Masque was a master of ritual dance and would perform for the Dark Prince and its court. Her downfall came when she dared to dance for Slaanesh without invitation, in an attempt to amuse her master after an humiliating defeat in war. Slaanesh saw it as an unforgivable insult and cursed her to dance for all eternity. Despite her exile, the Masque remains one of Slaanesh's most active agents, appearing across war zones and chaos-infested worlds to perform her never-ending dance. She has turned this curse into a weapon, weaving hypnotic steps that warp reality, forcing enemies into a trance or compelling them to move until they collapse. Whether leading demon hordes or manipulating mortal cults, she spreads the will of the Dark Prince, despite knowing she will never be forgiven. Syll'Esske. Syl was once a respected herald of Slaanesh, known for whispering temptations into the ears of mortal champions. Unlike most demons, Syl took a personal interest in these mortals, seeing potential in them rather than just tools for amusement. This attachment was seen as weakness by Slaanesh's court, who exiled Syl for their own entertainment. Cast out and humiliated, Syl wandered the warp until encountering Esk, a mortal gladiator fighting in Slaanesh's arenas. Syl nurtured his ambition, guiding him until he ascended as a demon prince. After their rise to power, Syl and Esk performed a forbidden ritual before Slaanesh's throne, merging into a single entity, Syll'Esske. This fusion created a being that embodies both power and grace, blending Syl's cunning sorcery with Eske's raw brutality. N'Kari. One of the most ancient and active keepers of secrets, N'Kari has long pursued ever greater excess, indulging in its dark urges across the galaxy. In older lore, N'Kari was actually described as a demon prince, but its early background has been soft retconned over time, and it is now acknowledged as a keeper of secrets instead. At one point, N'Kari was Fulgrim's companion, standing alongside the Primarch after his ascension. It was even seen conversing with Fulgrim when Lorgar sought him out to join the Siege of Terra. N'Kari has led many invasions, always seeking new sensations and pleasures. However, it has also suffered repeated defeats, especially at the hands of the Imperium. Still, like all of Slaanesh's chosen, death is only a temporary setback, and N'Kari always returns, each time more depraved and cunning than before. Zarakynel, the ultimate nightmare of the Eldar. Zarakynel is one of the most feared keepers of secrets, known for its unnatural speed and killing prowess. Its presence alone shatters minds, overwhelming mortals with both horror and unwilling admiration. Zarakynel has slain countless warriors with Soul Eater, a special blade that rips through any defense and consumes the soul of its victim. This demon has many great feats, but its most important conquests remain against the Eldar, the race Slaanesh thirsts for the most. Zarakynel has razed craft worlds, corrupted their champions, and broken their strongest warriors. No matter how many times the Eldar banish it, Zarakynel always returns to torment them. Shalaxi Helbane. Also known as the Monarch of the Hunt, Shalaxi is Slaanesh's ultimate weapon against the mightiest champions of rival chaos gods. While most keepers of secrets have diverse roles, Shalaxi is singularly focused on dueling, created specifically to hunt and slay greater demons and legendary warriors. Through its supernatural senses, Shalaxi can uncover the deepest fears and weaknesses of its prey, ensuring each confrontation ends in its favor. Wielding the Living Whip and the Soul-Piercer Spear, it has defeated countless foes, from bloodthirsters and hive tyrants to legendary Eldar heroes. Even though Shalaxi once fell out of Slaanesh's favor after being banished by the Grey Knights, it has since reclaimed its place as the Dark Prince's favored hunter. Now, restored to glory, it stands ready to challenge any champion who dares to rise against its master. Fulgrim. Once the noble Primarch of the Emperor's Children, he fell to chaos in the early stages of the Horus Heresy, eventually ascending as a demon prince. During the Great Crusade, he acquired a Xenos blade housing a powerful demon of Slaanesh, which whispered into his mind and gradually twisted his ideals. By the time of the Horus Heresy, he had fully embraced the traitor cause. His legion was one of the first to betray the Imperium, and he would eventually slay his brother Ferrus Manus at the Drop Site Massacre. Now a four-armed, serpentine monstrosity, Fulgrim fights with inhuman speed and flawless technique. His four arms can each turn into demonic talons or wield a different deadly weapon from his arsenal. Unlike other demon Primarchs, Fulgrim hasn't been very active since the Horus Heresy ended, retreating into the warp to indulge in his excesses, while his legion shattered into various warbands. And that's the full breakdown of Slaanesh demons in Warhammer 40k. If you have a favorite, share it in the comments below, as well as any fun fact you know that I haven't covered in this video. And if you don't want to miss the next lore videos, make sure to subscribe to the channel.